Welcome back to Bite Size Magic. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. In last week's video, we asked you for questions for Sylvie, and wow, did you guys deliver. We had so many great ones that we decided to do an entire episode dedicated to your questions. In this episode, the Bite Size crew sits down with Sylvie in person to ask your questions directly. We couldn't get to every single comment, but we seriously wish we had time to, because each of these questions were amazing. This one was an absolute blast to film, and we just want to say thank you so much for all your support. Stick around until the end of the video to see who won this month's Doot Loot giveaway and who's taking home that Japanese foil-etched Tymna and Dargo.
Welcome back to Bite Size Magic. I am Zach, and I have some great friends with me today. We just got back from TC's Rockets and had a phenomenal time. Really great tournament. Great.
Oh, we gotta redo this. I'm crying. I can't keep this. No, oh man.
All right,
so
with
funny.
me, I have Wayne. Hello. Sylvie.
Hi.
And Jared.
Hello.
Hello. All right. So what we're going to do for this episode / portion, whatever it ends up being, is we have a big old bowl of questions that you all asked us. Thank you so much for commenting on the video. One lucky person is going to be walking away with a foil-etched Japanese Tymna and Dargo in honor of Sylvie's victory. So let's hope these questions are good, because she's going to pick the best one.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. We have from @VickyFresh. Sylvie, I am a Pyre of Heroes enjoyer. Where did you find out about this card? And personally, where do you find out about this card and personally for you? What? Let me try this again. Yeah. Let me try to parse this out.
God.
Where did you find out about this card? Question mark.
Pyre of Heroes.
Yes, Pyre of Heroes.
Pyre of Heroes. So I have been a long time Pyre of Heroes enjoyer. One of the first decks I ever brewed for CDH was Evelyn the Covetous. This was a long time ago, pre-bans, okay? And Evelyn triggers whenever a vampire enters the battlefield, and she is a vampire. You exile the top card of everyone's library. You can cast it once per turn. So I played all the 1-mana changelings. Your Moth's changeling, your Universal Automaton. And I ran Pyre of Heroes. And I could turn my 1-mana changelings, which were draw 4s, into Dockside Extortionist or Thassa's Oracle.
So good.
It was so good. It was actually really good. And you could Pyre Evelyn into Olivia Crimson Bride, which when it attacks, reanimates a vampire. So you put her in the graveyard and reanimate her to get more triggers.
Nice.
And get a reanimation on John Line. So it was a really fun deck, like a mid-range Grixis deck. So I actually played Pyre of Heroes in that deck. It's amazing. It's probably better in Dargo Tymna though. Like
Probably.
yeah,
In white.
in white. Yeah.
Or Silence of
Yeah,
Creatures.
turning creatures into Grand Abolishers
And
Ruthless
Technomancers.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
No, not Bergie.
not Bergie.
Balloon Man.
Balloon Man.
Balloon Man.
Yawgmoth.
Yeah, it's
Academy Rector.
I mean, the human count on the deck must be just insane.
It's high. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
high.
and also the great part about it is with your build specifically,
Mhm.
you're on so many 1-drop humans.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's what I think makes it so good.
Lots of things to put into Grand We
Part of the second half of the question.
and also
Sentinel.
print a good 2-mana zombie, because there's actually a lot of zombies in the deck, but there's no good 2-mana zombies. So if Wizards prints a good 2-mana zombie, I'd be very happy. Thank you.
There's the 3-mana zombie that's Warren Soul Trader.
Yes, that one's very good, but there's no 2-mana one to go in between. So we need like a 2-mana zombie that untaps an artifact and adds 2 mana to your mana pool when it enters. Thank you.
Thank you, Wizards.
All right. @Joshua the Frick asks, curious for Sylvie, which cards were the top ones that you saw during the event, and how many of those were spicy takes that you slotted in against the norm?
Oh man, I mean, the answer for what the best cards in the deck were during the event are typically very boring. It's like Mox Diamond was really good.
Yeah.
Tutor was gas.
Pretty good.
Also, some tech that I don't think anyone else was on in the deck, and not on as widely as they should be before the event, was Vexing Bauble and Hope of Girapur.
Yeah.
And I saw both those cards a lot, and they were good in a lot of games. Vexing Bauble in particular, I would say. Yeah, I mean,
An
it's just
all-star.
it's very good against the meta. And Hope of Girapur. It's seen a lot
to
more
the
play.
Abyss.
Peer into the Abyss. Yeah, is that spicy?
Won you the Fishbowl.
Yeah, but I mean, is it spicy though?
I mean, I would say that there is probably
Fewer people on it than
what other deck Crick, son of Yawgmoth. What
Rowan?
other deck plays Pyre? Rowan?
Gwenum.
No, Gwenum doesn't play it
Really?
anymore. No.
Alright.
Well, I mean, maybe
I
not
never
all.
played it in Gwenum, but everyone else did. So
Okay, I just know. I don't think Austin is on it.
I don't think it's. We're getting on a tangent. But
Okay.
That's what the whole episode. This is what this episode.
Anyways,
this isn't the Gwenum episode.
Speaking of tangents, at LinkCat42 wants to know. My question is as follows: if you were to be stuck on a deserted island with one of your commanders,
I mean,
which one would you choose and why? And I
Is-
think this can be opened up to the table if we'd like.
I mean, it's
kinda
it's
one of my
obvious. Should we say it on the count of 3?
yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Nala?
Dargo. Are you kidding?
Fucking island with a large pirate.
Dude, he has lobster. He feeds you lobster.
the lobster. He's gonna
Yeah.
eat you.
No, he's gonna give me some lobster.
Yeah, he's eating you. Tymna is
No,
blind.
because I have 9 1-drops to feed.
Tymna's blind. She doesn't know what's going on.
I feel like my actual answer would be Malcolm, though, because I feel like you could get me off the island, then you could fly around and
Yeah, but-
navigate away off the island.
Malcolm's
You know what
not
I mean?
in this deck.
Oh, I feel like Tymna could like weave me a raft or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Dargo's gonna eat you.
I feel, yeah, right.
We got some Dargo haters here, man.
I just recognize the power.
He's a very
big
hungry
dude.
boy.
That's a big boy.
He's doing unholy things to that lobster.
Yeah, I'm trying to join him. All right, next question.
I'm just saying Zerto would keep me warm and hunt for me, so that's all.
That is true. That is true.
Adorable.
And it would make things not able to block.
At Shell Bastion asks, congrats, Sylvie. Question. Now, with people playing Rala, Tali, Dargo, these red cards might see some pushback with counterspells. Would Blue Blast be better or Strict Serenade? Okay, I'll just say right off. We did. I'll say right now, Strict Serenade is a bad card. You guys should not be playing it.
Okay, so I think Strict Serenade is pretty good and is not a bad choice. But frankly, you should just, if you're worried about these decks, you should just run more silences.
Or Vexing Bauble.
Or not against Tymna Dargo, but yeah, against Rao and Atali. Vexing
Oh,
Bauble
for
is
sure.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, so all of these decks, like Ral, yes, I know it is blue cards, but like they're all pretty weak to just getting silenced.
Gotcha.
So my opinion is like you don't want to answer it with counterspells. You want to answer it with a silence.
Mhm.
That's like the secret. If you do want to put a counterspell in, I think Strix is fine. I think Blue Blast is a terrible idea. What are you gonna do? Blue Blast Dargo? That's not a good idea. That's not gonna work out. You just pay 1 more red and like.
Yeah,
Dargo.
I mean, you can Blue Blast a Breach, right? That's okay.
I guess, man.
I like.
I guess you can.
see a lot of raw breaches out in the wild. I just don't think there's enough. I would play Strix over Blue Blast.
100%. I'd
I'd
play like
silences over.
I'd play more
Orim's,
silence.
I play
yeah.
Orim's chant over.
Yeah,
over Strix.
absolutely.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, also a great thing about silences is they can protect you too. Like Blue Blast can't really protect you too well. You're just doing it to stop somebody else.
Blue Blast or Red Blast?
True.
I guess.
That's true. Now
So
I'm
they-
Strix made the same problem. It can't really protect your win either, right?
I mean, I'm not on Red Blast because I don't think there's enough blue spells I need to counter with it. So
Yeah.
like, do you really think there's enough red spells you need to counter with Blue Blast?
Not at all.
No. So okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Red is a great color, but it does not have a lot of good cards.
No.
Like it's a great color, but the All Stars is not
Yeah.
extremely long lived.
I agree.
the
Yeah,
All Star is a card that's banned in every format except for ours.
Yeah, Breach. Yeah.
No,
No, that's banned in ours.
It's
It's not banned in any format except ours. Yeah, I don't know. I also think the cards, I mean, we're getting way too deep into the weeds, and this should be edited out, but the cards you want to counter from Dargo, Tymna, that you would want to Blue Blast, they're not red, they're black. So.
I just want you guys to know every time you say edit this out, I'm keeping it in. At EHMS Drew, great podcast and congrats, Sylvie. My question for Sylvie is, when will you stop lying to yourself and play the True Sands Blue Shard Naya?
Wow.
Rocco is waiting.
If I were to play Naya, it would never be Rocco. It would be Balin the Haymaker.
I love Balin.
I wish it was good. It's
I do
so
too.
bad.
You're like, wait a minute, this is good. You're
No.
like, no, it's not.
I unbanned Dockside. Mic drop. I
I
actually
love
have
that
played
mic.
Naya. I played Balin for a long time before the bans, and I tried a lot after the bans.
you playing that.
Green
I'm sorry.
is
You know.
my second least favorite color. No, actually, green is my least favorite color. Blue,
Yeah.
I like blue more than green.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's how little I like green.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't hate blue. I don't hate blue.
At Salatrix, yo Sylvie, congrats. Do you run any crazy foils or altered cards in your deck?
You gotta get some Dracula Flow altars.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a guy. I got a guy.
I actually do. I have a Japanese foil anime Necropotence. Not confetti. I think it looks better not confetti. That's my favorite art in the deck and probably my blinger.
that's your.
It's my header. Yeah. It's like my favorite art. Yeah.
Mine is my Russian foil Citadel.
Hot.
That is
hot.
I have no the Russian foils, my only Russian
that's
foil,
hot.
and I picked it up at TC's Rockets, which notoriously never has the cards I need. And I was like, fuck yeah.
What is this doing here?
That's sick. Yeah. Oh, and I have a Kefka's Tower as a Citadel. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
At Hank. Another question. Vexing Bauble, exclamation point. I will say this, Sylvie. I'm so upset because I've been on Vexing Bauble since it released, and you calling it out has blown this thing up like crazy.
I mean, I've been on it.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I've been on it in a lot of decks.
How are you using the card most effectively? If you aren't trying to jam, are you always holding up the mana to crack in a pinch? It seems much harder to use in sorcery speed decks.
I think it's better in sorcery speed decks significantly. I don't run counter spells.
Yeah.
So I don't run that. Like the only free spells I run are I have Citadel in play or I have Deflecting Swap.
Yeah. I think specifically Vexing Bauble, making sure that you always have the mana to crack it. It's a hard thing because you can read the table, and if you feel confident enough to tap out, that's a decision you're going to have to own 100%. But then also it can lead you, like, I don't know, one white open means a lot of things that you're like, all right, I can keep my Vexing Bauble up and then I can just tutor and stuff if I don't have to. I was describing it to one of my friends recently is, would you play a card that say pay 1 colorless mana, slow a bunch of people down, and then another colorless mana, draw a card? 2 mana, slow a bunch of people down, draw a card seems not bad.
I agree on the play pattern of having an instant speed tutor to hold up with that mana. I do think you do want to maximize your mana usage. Sometimes it's correct to tap out under a Vexing Bauble. It depends on the pod. It depends on the table. It depends. Like, you can try to get info from people and say, like, hey, I'm thinking about tapping out. Like, just talk to people.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you can say, like, look, it's offline. Like, you know, I'm thinking about tapping out. Typically, you guys are going to both be scared of another deck, right? Yeah. So
the other thing I'd say is it's much better in decks that don't run a lot of free interaction. Blue decks notoriously are trying to maximize that. It's like there's a world where you could play it in a blue farm. I just don't know if it would be as good.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't be as good. I don't know if it's even consideration worthy or if it's just like, because like Zerta, you know, your free spells are very limited. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Tymna Dargo, it's like pretty much just rocks.
It's just
SWAT.
rocks and SWAT and Citadel. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think the other thing that gets looked over for Vexing Bauble specifically is one, exactly what Sylvie said. A lot of times I will look at a Vexing Bauble and like if I have to tap out for it, I'll look at the blue players and be like, hey, do you guys have any free interaction this way?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, because I want to drop this, but if you have free interaction, I won't. And they will just tell you, which is
they'll tell you.
one, information that you get, and then two, makes you feel like you're working with the table, which you are. Yeah. And then the other thing that I think gets a little bit lost in this conversation, because it's a silence you can get off of Urzasog and all the rest of it, but it's just an artifact, which in specifically Sylvie in my deck means a lot more than other people. So like Blue Farm, it being a 1-drop artifact doesn't really mean that much, but for us, it's Dargo sack. You get to draw the card, and it ups for Dargo Cat.
Yeah, if
and,
you need to. Yeah,
exactly right. And then for me, it's like Oswald, NG, Welder. It's all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it just depends on the deck. But yeah, the question's a good question.
I also do think it is underrated that Vexing Bauble is a card that takes skill to play. It is.
Yes,
it's a very simple card, so it's easy to assume that it's very simple to use. It's a skill intensive card. It requires a certain level of skill and knowledge of when you should hold mana up, when you shouldn't. Yeah, if you have the instant speed tutor, yeah, it's super easy, right? But sometimes you need to say, yeah, I'm not going to use all my mana this turn. Sometimes you need to say, yeah, I am. So
I mean, I think one of the most significant things about the card is the fact that it makes you, in a lot of game states, uninteractable. Like, let's think about why it was banned in Legacy. It was banned in Legacy because when you hit it, during the early turns, when you're trying to win the game in a format like that, and now in ours too, it just makes you unable to be dealt with. It's a mini Grand Abolisher, and that, to me, is its most effective thing. Like, you play it early, and you slow everybody down, but then you get to untap with a Grand Abolisher in play. I mean, like, it really feels that way.
Can be very
a
close.
lot of times, because like people will tap out for their Ristic Study on turn 2, and then you just get to untap, and they can draw the cards they want. They can't interact with you. They have no relevant draws. It just makes you uninteractable in a really unique way, and for a very, very low investment, which I think is really strong.
yeah, it's a very strong.
C1 Vexing Bauble was crazy fun.
Brutal.
Anyway, all right. At Kevin Martin 5459 asks questions for Sylvie. My favorite Magic card of all time is Academy Rector. I'm not gonna make the joke. What are the strengths of it specifically in Dargo?
What are the specific strengths of it in Tymna Dargo?
What are the strengths of it specifically if in Tymna Dargo? Thanks and congrats on your big win.
Thank you. It's a creature that you can sack to Dargo, which cannot be interacted with because it's paying a cost.
Yeah.
That puts a combo piece, either Goblin Bombardment or Underworld Breach into play. Putting Underworld Breach into play from a creature is like insane. Like Dahada wishes, but it can also just go get Necropotence, and like I'd say a lot of the time it goes and gets Necropotence for me.
I did that today.
Yeah,
I kept 5. I top deck a Rector. I play turn 1, whatever, get a sack outlet or the Phyrexian Tower, turn 2 Rector into Necro, and I'm just like, boom.
It's great.
Yeah, and I actually thought about what you were saying because you're like, oh yeah, Necro's like pretty good, and
Necro's amazing.
in these kinds of decks, and it's hard a little bit to like wrap my head around it because the play pattern in Blue Farm is so different with Necro than it is in something like Tymna Dargo, but it's just any spell that draws you cards.
Yeah,
at any rate you want.
It's amazing.
Good.
Yeah. Rector is just like, I can't imagine not playing it. It's so powerful. It's so flexible, and it's creatures. Being a creature is so good in the meta right now. And so the fact that you can get Rector into play, and there's no from the command zone, you have a sack outlet that can't be interacted with. You don't need a B. It's just an A that puts these things into puts Necro into play. Is so strong. Yeah, Rector's awesome.
At Stilts05150, really enjoyed hearing about what it felt like to resolve Pyre in the finals. What are you most commonly tutoring for? I assume it is dependent on your hand and game state, but anything stand out as a common tutor target specifically?
I mean, this is a huge question, but I can give a top 3. Say Lotho and Taru are very common tutors on turn 1. If I have a hand that has gas but doesn't have the mana or like the Dargo material, I think Lotho is a great choice to tutor for. Shoutouts to the Crochet for teaching me that trick.
The
crochet. I think if I'm tutoring for a combo piece, it's usually going to be Technomancer, because let's say I have no A's or B's in my hand. Frankly, I probably tutor for Necro or something, but
over Nas.
Depends on my mana situation and stuff, and the pod, right? Sometimes it's easier to resolve an enchantment. But I Technomancer is the combo piece I tutor for the most, because it combos with stuff in the graveyard and it makes mana, right? So it kind of combos with the black mass draw engines as well.
Yeah.
In Dahada, you learn always tutor for Breach. One of the first things I learned playing Tymna Dargo was tutoring for Technomancer. I didn't know what line to go to if I had multiple tutors in my hand, and I realized it's Technomancer. You just go for Technomancer, and then you top deck tutor Technomancer, and then you Technomancer, and then you demonic tutor for your win, right? Yeah. So, and then the third one I'd call out is Emergence Zone. A very common play pattern for me is get Necro into play and then tutor for an Emergence Zone.
So good, actually.
It's because once you have both in play, your opponents can do nothing. You are going to get flash speed and draw 25 cards, and it's
win the game.
Yeah, I've never lost or not won from that position. Yeah. So I actually tutor for E Zone, and I consider Necro and E Zone to be a pair I will tutor for with each other.
I would say I would consider it to be 3 categories. The first would be Enabler. The second would be Mass Draw Effect, and the third would be the other half of a combo family.
Sure.
So it's really important to understand where you're at in terms of assembly. So, look at the combo family document, and then learn sort of the pieces that you can get to kind of form combos as your tutor targets. What I see a lot of people doing is they will find what they think is a good enabler or a good mass draw engine, but sometimes you can tutor for certain things that can fulfill both roles. So I think a really good example of this is actually Voice of Victory. So that's actually a silence effect, but it's really an enabler because you're going to get 2 of those tokens to draw with Tymna, and it really sets you up well for a win. It enables the win by silence effect.
And lets you sack those tokens to Dargo, so it enables Dargo too.
Correct. Necropotence can also be both an enabler and a mass draw effect, because you don't have to rip it super hard at the beginning. You could just drop it down turn 1 or turn 2 and just, fill up to what you need for a big turn 3 push. Or, maybe you don't even feel comfortable turn 3 and you want to tutor for that E zone, or just Ripeting Final Fortune. Like, a lot of these cards are high skill difficulty because when you're tutoring, you have to maximize the flexibility of whatever you're finding, unless you're finding the other half of a combo family.
At Crossroads Keeper. Well done, Sylvie. Love to see Mardu win. What's your approach to brewing a new CDH deck? Question mark. What would love any tips? This is a whole episode on its own.
Live your dreams and kill your darlings. That's my answer. Is go for it, try it, and admit when it's not working.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
Solo Thrasios.
All I gotta say to that.
The dream.
Killing my darlings for sure on that one.
So funny.
And then I think the other thing is not every deck works in every meta. So don't assume that just because something's not working now, it won't work later.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
At Greyface Gaming, listening to you talk about the finals game, how do you know when it's your window to jam?
Oh man, I mean it's vibes. I don't know. I mean like
it's vibes.
It's not just vibes. You like I consider myself a player who actively focuses on collecting information from my opponents. And when I say active, I don't mean show me your hand. Sometimes, yeah. But like I will try to get people to show me information, politically, but I just really listen to everything people are saying, how they're leaving mana open. Yes, people can bluff with their mana, but it's rare that they will consistently be able to maintain a bluff for very long. Because they just start jeopardizing their game plan, and you just fall behind doing that right now. So I try to observe all the actions my opponents are taking, what they're saying, their body language, their mood, and you just get a feel for it. I just also, part of knowing when it's time to jam is not just knowing do people have interaction, it's how close are other people to jamming. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. Is something to think about is not do they have force of will? Is someone else going to try to win?
Yeah, I think window shopping is one of the most important. I had someone say that to me.
Window shopping.
Window shopping?
Yeah, that's great.
That's
funny.
Is great. Yeah, it was it was during Fishbowl, and it was a blue farm player I really enjoyed playing with. I think they're like Atlas. I don't know. And really nice guy. And he was like, "Oh, good window shopping in that game." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good way to talk about. I like that."
Yeah, that's a good way to put
the
it.
Scenario is just when you have the ability with flash speed decks, you can be a lot more selective with your windows, and that's the power of Blue Farm and Rogthras and Kinnan. That they're the best flash speed decks, and that means that you can find windows on specific parts of turns. In sorcery speed decks, it becomes much harder to find windows. It's usually just is it now or is it next turn?
You have to make your own.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to make your own. If you have resources, you can. It's really, is it now or am I going to get a next turn? That's a big question. Because if I'm not, then we got to go now and just hope for the best. I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to try and fail. Accept that failing and getting it wrong is part of the process. And analyze why you got it wrong and try to have reason behind your decisions. Have a reason you pushed here, and then you can analyze what was wrong about the reason, or what didn't you know, and how could you have maybe picked up on that.
I will say what's really important with this pile specifically is that you can't afford to play scared a lot of the time. So this Mass Draw Effect version, the MD heavy version, is meant to go over and over and over again because you're having such a high density of one card win cons that just end the game. If I jam here and if I get stopped, I think I can see another turn. Just do it. If somebody stops you, they had it now, then we're going to have it 2 turns from now or 3 turns from now. Just make them have it. Make them use it. And then, unless you're really afraid that someone else is going to just kill you, because otherwise sometimes it's good to wait for them to jam first and you can win second. I like doing that a lot too. Just really depends on the situation. But if I feel like I'm going to untap no matter what, just do it. Just jam. Yeah. Get stopped. Who cares?
Big things. If you just want simple answer on this, you want to look at how much mana is available from your opponents. Mm-hmm. Has anyone pushed yet?
Yeah.
How much interaction has been used at the table? So those are the big ones. And then also, things like how much interaction do I have to back up my own wins? Like Sylvie said, collecting information is super important. You can get a lot of info from people. And then the second thing to reiterate is play cards that force open windows for yourself, like Vexing Bauble.
Grand Abolisher.
Yeah. Grand
and
Abolisher.
Even, it's great. And I mean, Grand Abolisher is great.
No,
Pyre of Heroes forces a lot of windows open too. It not only forces windows, but it assembles combos.
Yeah, Pyre and Goblin Engineer, the ability-based things that do stuff are really strong because of that. You can deploy them early, and then you have a non-interactive thing later.
Everything that everybody said, and then also just echoing, like, there's a level of instinct that I like to play off of where, like, don't be afraid to try. And then when it's like, oh, they did have a force of will. Okay, cool. Let it feel in your body and like sit there and like, okay, cool. That wasn't the right window, but now I know. And then later on, you'll find moments where you're just like, I don't know why, but the way someone's acting, I can tell you probably have something. I'll just, and then check after games also check. That's another way to reinforce that subconscious of like, oh wait, that was a window. I thought so. It's a whole thing. You'll get more information that way.
Also, if it's turn 2, I always put it.
Yeah.
If it's turn 2, you should always send it in.
And then if the control player has the mind break for you, you're like, good job playing responsibly. Cool, I'll try turn 3.
Yeah.
At TDHMTG, do you know the card Burst of Energy? Can I interest you in putting it under an Isochron Scepter with a ritual?
Judge, I need Oracle text.
TEDH, who could that be?
Do you know who it is?
Do you not know who this is?
You want to read the here? Let me read this question.
Yeah.
Who's talking about Isochron Scepter and Burst of Energy?
Wait, hold on. Before you do, can anyone? What's your guess? What's the mana cost and what does it do?
Well, it goes under Isochron Scepter,
So it obviously.
so it's an
is-
instant.
And it's. I'm not gonna say
It's
anything.
1 or 2 mana.
Yep. But
I would have guessed red.
yeah.
I'm gonna guess it costs 1 and a white.
What does it do?
Untap target creature. It gains vigilance until end of turn. I don't know.
Yeah, as a white card.
You can block an additional creature this combat.
This man is just a database of cards.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it do?
God damn it, Holden, now I have to get the card up on the screen. Anyways, Burst of Energy is 1 white. Instant,
Just white?
Just 1 white.
Okay.
Instant. Untap target permanent.
Okay, close.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Does it get vigil?
No, it just is untap target
Wait, that's
permanent.
it?
It's just untap.
Wait, there's no more text?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have not considered this, and I don't think I will any further. Thank you for your question.
At Jamie Rich 3668. Awesome video. Would love to ask, what is Sylvie's favorite card in the deck?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Overall card. Favorite overall.
I'm tempted to say Dargo.
Yeah.
Fucking love Dargo, man.
Underworld
In the
Reach.
Mox Diamond.
Mox Diamond.
I mean, Dargo, if we're not saying the commander, if the commander doesn't count, I do like Technomancer, but I think Necro. I love Necro.
Yeah, it's interesting how often you're prioritizing it.
It's so good.
But it's like setup.
Yeah, but it's so cheap. You can turn 1 at Dark Ritual Necro.
You don't find there's constraints with that, like where you're land Dark Rit Necro, then turn 2 you have no stable mana.
I don't send it. I like Necro back to 7 or 10, and then I send it, like, I try to get as much mana as I can, and then I can either just draw 7 again, or I can just send it.
And your most common sends with Necro are with E-Zone.
Yes, but I will do it with Final Fortune. I will even do it if I have to pass around, because like turn 3 with a Sculpted 7 is usually good enough.
You could also do it with Tainted Pact. That's another thing people forget about, is you can rip a bunch, then Tainted Pact for your Final Fortune, and then do it that way.
I don't know. I just like Necro. I think Necro is a interesting and skill intensive card. I like playing.
I agree that it's skill intensive.
I'm not saying it's the best card in the deck. It's just up there for me.
It's one of your
my
favorites.
favorites. One of my favorites. But Dargo, I think Dargo is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I think Dargo's broken.
Dargo is so broken, dude.
Yeah.
He's so broken.
At Nikki Bolas. Sylvie, I've only ever played a blue deck in CDH. How can I pivot from that while also feeling comfortable doing so?
You have to shed your skin and stand naked and be judged and accept yourself.
Just be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then you'll get comfortable.
on a shirt.
Be comfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that's the way to put it. Yeah.
It's also just, it is really fun. You'll find that
Dude,
playing
imagine Kinnan casts like not Kinnan. Let's say like imagine someone puts a wind on the stack and you can just say, "This ain't my problem. This ain't my fight. Not my fight."
I hate saying that.
I know you do.
Not having agency in this
No,
tournament.
but you
today
can have
was
agency.
so painful.
Sometimes you do have agency.
I never had agency. I was sitting there being like, well, if it gets back to me, I win. But that's probably not going to happen. And then it did happen, and I bricked on Citadel.
So actually, I think the hardest... I'm going to try to answer this seriously.
Yeah.
The hardest part, in my opinion, for blue players to let go of blue is letting go of Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora. That is the hard... It's not counter spells. It's the draw engine.
It's counterspells.
Because... yeah, but you're...
Because every counterspell for you is like 3 counterspells.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
don't do it.
For lesser experienced players,
Mhm.
if you only play blue, those blue draw engines like
Yeah,
save you.
They're really easy to lean on also because
Exactly.
like I don't know what the deck does, and it's like just tutor for Rhystic
I
Study.
any hand with a tutor for Rhystic Study, and
Yeah.
you have a game plan going,
Yeah.
even if it's not the best choice, right?
Yeah.
That I think is the hardest thing, and I think like a big part of playing Mardu is maximizing your resource usage. So try to focus on that and focus what you can do with your hand. It's going to feel uncomfortable and difficult, but it's really fun once you get used to it. I think that's actually the thing, is be comfortable not having Rhystic Study. And if that means you're playing Tymna focused game plans to establish card draw for a while, that's fine. Yeah. Start with a more mid-range build before you start trying to lean turbo. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think the mid-range builds of Tymna and Dargo are not bad. They're just not meta right now. So
I was gonna say just Kellen won
Yeah.
the Boyle.
the Boyle, and he won the Land Go Open.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that was one of the biggest tournaments of all time.
Yes, it was.
Also,
yeah.
perhaps like the big actually I think almost definitely the biggest tournament win by a non-blue deck.
Until the Fishbowl 6.
Yeah, on the same deck.
On the same deck. I would say start with a mid-range version of the deck, so it's a little more comfortable. You can play more interaction, you can play more silences, and just accept that you're not going to have the most cards in the game, but you can still win.
I think there's also another thing too of like you politic differently when you don't have counter spells.
Yes.
And learning how to do that and learning to be like, my answer is we can force a draw. Are
Yeah.
you guys cool with that? Like, and just learning how to politic differently is an adjustment for sure. A related question at Julian Martin 9818. This is so cool that a Sans Blue deck won a huge event. Congrats, Sylvie. Heart. My question is, are you going to use some of your winnings to buy a card that till now has been out of your reach? And if so, what is it?
Yes, I am purchasing foreign black border Italian dual lands for Dargo Tymna.
Oh, all the dual lands?
Not all of them, but I'm purchasing
Badlands.
a foreign black border Badlands Italian, foreign black border Plateau Italian, and a foreign black border Scrubland Italian.
Wow.
That's the only 3 cards in the list I don't own.
Wow.
And
Thank God you didn't buy that Badlands from me.
I know, well, because I want a foreign black border
I
Italian one.
know, I know.
So yeah, I'm buying foreign black border duels. Yes, I'm bougie, but I want my Malaterra and my Altopiano.
Those are the ones I have in farm.
You have Italian?
Mhm.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I knew you were a real
I don't
one.
think they're FBBs though.
They're white FB. What?
They're also not real, but
They are Italian.
All right, next question. Next question.
Not real.
At Enrobio, does Sylvie think Tymna Dargo is the only viable Mardu commander in town, or are there other commanders that Sylvie thinks are worth trying?
There are definitely other Mardu commanders worth trying. I still think Dahada is a great deck. I think Tymna Jessica has potential. I think Jessica's really strong. The problem is, I don't know if it's meta, but there's definitely potential with the deck. I think Kalia is playable.
that's a casual deck.
No.
That's a precon. That's an upgraded precon. It is a precon.
I'm not.
It is a free
I'll be real. I'm not sure about Rog Tymna. I'm not sure about Krark Tymna. I'm not sure about Ketis Tymna. I think
Ketiston is sick.
it's cool.
Hatred.
It's very cool.
Shout out to Brazy Tree.
Yeah, shout out to Brazy Tree. I think Dargo Tymna is the best Mardu Tymna deck, but I think there's plenty of other viable Mardu commanders.
Related question. At Runitz BC, for someone piloting a much smaller Mardu list for fun, Francisco Akiri, Lura's companion,
There it is.
how can I begin to have the deck taken more seriously at tables before others actually see the deck trying to win? GZ Sylvie, huge win.
Thank you. I'm gonna be real with you. Have you ever seen the show Arrested Development? Do you know like there's this gag with the League of Magicians, and they're holding a sign that says "We demand to be taken seriously." Unfortunately, I think it's cool. I love Lura's Companion. I think Lura's Companion is sick as hell.
Winning an event is a great way to put
Exactly.
decks on the map.
Yes. So if you want your deck to be taken seriously, get results with it.
Yeah. Put
But
some
people
concrete evidence on it.
I'm sorry, Akiri is just so bad. I'm not saying your deck is bad. I'm saying Akiri as a card is so half the commander pair. I think Luris is really cool and interesting. I think Francisco in Mardu is really interesting, but Akiri is just such a blank Magic card. Yeah, and I'm not.
I think they may understand that, and they are trying. The whole point is Francisco and Mardu.
Yeah, why do you need Luris Companion for that?
Because your whole combo is less than 2 mana all the time, and you just play all the black tutors,
But
and it recurs the combo.
could you play a better could you play Bruce and because Bruce does things and has text on him.
Maybe the strength of the deck
Does
is that
Bruce
it's not
have text
taken
on him?
seriously.
Yeah, Bruce has lifelink, and he makes your professional Facebreaker and your Ragavan hit twice.
That's a good point.
I played Bruce Malcolm a long time, and no one took that deck seriously.
Pirates of America.
Yeah,
That's a Hebrew deck.
Yeah.
You know that?
Really? No.
Yeah. He loves that
Dude, I
deck.
love that deck too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's talk again, Kellen.
Yeah.
I don't know, look, I have a lot of decks no one takes seriously. I play Golbez, and everyone thinks that deck is a joke. I've played a lot of bad decks. So yeah, just do well with it, continue to optimize it, and refine it. If you're struggling and people aren't taking it seriously, and you're not seeing success, then you need to work on the list and maybe make some changes. But if people don't take it seriously and you're winning, then fuck them. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Yeah.
And also,
just win.
why
who cares?
do you want to be taken seriously? Being taken seriously is bad for your EV. It's bad for
This
your win
is
rate.
very true. Very
Right?
true. Yeah, be don't worry, guys. I'm just playing my Akiri and my Francisco. Yeah.
I 100% agree. Just prove them wrong.
Yeah, prove 'em wrong.
Just prove them wrong,
Prove
and
'em
then
wrong.
and adjust. At Philly Swirl. Congrats, Sylvie. My question for you is, do you have a process for preparing yourself for tournaments and games in general? I struggle with getting fatigued after 3 rounds. I've played in about 10 tournaments now and still haven't overcome this.
I have a lot of tournament experience, not necessarily Magic experience, but tournament experience in general. I think the most important thing is I drink a lot of water. I drink so much water at tournaments. I am just chugging water in between rounds, and I have a bottle of water at me at the game at all times. That's really my main thing is drink water, and then in between rounds I try to go outside and get some fresh air and a little less volume. But I don't know, that's about it. A lot of it is just conditioning, and yeah, you're gonna get exhausted at these big events, and you'll just kind of get used to it, and your tolerance for it will build up. But it helps if you can also not be hard on yourself. If you get emotional or frustrated, you're having negative emotions, you burn out so much more quickly. So there's mindset stuff you can do too.
Yeah, I actually know. This is a episode that I think that we should do at some point. It's just tournament prep, logistics, and all the rest of it. Just quick things in general, like health, mental health, push-ups, sit-ups, routines, that sort of stuff. But more than anything, I think what really helps, at least for our LA meta, is 2 a.m. Denny's. If you can do your lines at 2 a.m. Denny's after listening to the same soundtrack for 50 times in a row, then you could probably do it at a tournament. So, which is really just more practice and exposure, which is what Sylvia was saying,
It's never going to be super easy and trivial, but you can do things to help yourself.
I have a very mixed history of preparing for tournaments and them going well and poorly. Sometimes I have just not slept at all and have been really hungover and it's gone great. And then other times I'm super prepared and I get a lot of sleep. I would just say finding a routine that works for you is super important.
Yeah.
I'm someone who doesn't like to eat a lot during a tournament day because I get fatigued from that. I'm absolutely not recommending that to anybody. That's up to you if you want to do that. I'm not telling you to do that at all. So don't do that unless you want to. Caffeine is great.
Yes.
Getting an energy
Coffee,
drink in the morning.
yes.
Coffee is awesome.
I always eat breakfast. I have to.
I
have
don't,
breakfast.
but that's just me.
I eat
Again,
before
don't do
the
that.
tournament. I don't eat during the
Just
tournament.
don't eat
Don't
up
do that. Yeah. So finding the routine, drinking a lot of water sounds stupid, but forcing yourself to go to sleep at a reasonable time is a good idea. I know you want to stay up in Goldfish and play with friends the day before, but just try and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Be prepared. If you know you're going to get a headache, bring ibuprofen.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Bring the things you think you're going to need to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and I know Wayne brings power bars, and that keeps you going and keeps you happy. And then the last thing I would say is, if you are getting fatigued after 3 rounds, try a different deck.
Yeah.
Because some decks are really mentally fatiguing, and some decks are not at all. So
Dargo Tymna is a mentally fatiguing deck, in my opinion.
really,
I think so.
even though the games are ending pretty quick.
When they end quick, it's easy.
Yeah,
When they don't end quick, it's
a lot of
It's
fonts.
a lot. It's a lot.
it's like Gwenham.
Gwenham is nice and easy.
For the mental fatigue, knowing your deck really, really well. if you're not having to think about your lines too particularly hard, then there's a little bit less mental fatigue on that one. At Corey Shaner, congrats, Sylvie. One question: I have been on 2 extra turn spells to try and help with converting a Nas turn or a Bolus brick. Did you feel that just having a Final Fortune alone gets the job done? Also, just wanted to see if Yawgwell probably, right?
Yawgmoth.
Yeah. If Yawgmoth came up at all, and if that, what was his impact? Thank you so much, and congrats again.
So this is 2 questions. I assume we're talking about Chance for Glory or Last Chance or Warrior's Oath. I think Warrior's Oath and Last Chance are not good enough to run because they're sorcery speed. Chance for Glory is a strong card. It's playable. Personally, I find between Emergence Zone and Final Fortune, I don't need another spell. Chance for Glory is a card I don't particularly like because it's really bad in the mulligan. And Final Fortune is not great in the mulligan, but Chance for Glory is even worse. I think it's a reasonable card to play. I don't really like the play pattern of Necro with extra mana and send it and hope I get a Final Fortune and it resolves, because I'm so vulnerable to silence unless I have a Grand Abolisher in play.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to do this to win. It's not really a line I generally go for. I'd rather tutor it beforehand and make sure I have it, So personally, I don't think the third one's the second extra turn spell is necessary. But if you like it, then you should play it. I know you like Chance for Glory.
I do. I'm a big fan of Chance for Glory because the way that I think about Necropotence is a little bit different. So if you're the kind of person that liked... We have so many new players now, which is great. But there was a time when Valley Floodcaller wasn't a card, okay? And if you played and can convert a Necro with just, Born Upon a Wind, and that's all you needed to do it, great. You can just play Final Fortune and Emergent Zone, right? That's, to me, all you really need. If you appreciate the fact that you have a 3-mana option to convert a Necro Rip, you should play the card. I think it's very, very good. I think the pips don't matter because you're making so many treasures a lot of the times anyways. Another thing I will say too is a lot of times this deck, because you're running all the mass draw effects, you're less committal on needing to go rip on Necro super hard, so that's another reason why you might not need it. But let's say there's one that you don't really like and you want to run maybe 7 out of the 8 mass draw effects instead. Then in that case, you might want to lean more in on Necro, and therefore you could consider another option to help you do that. So it just depends on how you like to play Necro, your experience with the card. I am a fan of Chance for Glory. It comes in and out, right? Just depending on my mood. But I would say it's a very, very good option for sure. But it depends on you and how you like to play.
Yeah. As for Yawg, yeah, amazing card. Came up plenty. I had a game where I was able to Jolly Balloon Man, copy my Goblin Engineer to go get Relic of Legends and activate to put it into play, and then get Yawg into play and convert that into a Mass Draw effect and into a win. And Yawg was able to remove an Op Agent.
Sick.
So Yawg is so good. It is removal, it's interaction, it's card draw, and it's a Mass Draw effect with Bergie or Relic of Legends. So, yeah, awesome card. So strong.
At JCat, hi Sylvie, do you have any advice for people who haven't been to that big of a tournament before and what they can expect?
It's going to be a lot of people. My experience at Fishbowl was people were actually very friendly, not super aggressive, not a lot of lying. People will get political, but, that's just the game and the format. And I don't know, it was a great time.
I had so much fun.
Yeah. I think it's actually pretty approachable. But you're going to play a lot of Magic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a full day of Magic.
So Fishbowl 5 was my first big tournament ever, and it was very overwhelming for me personally. I was just like, there's so many people here. It's just like, how the heck am I supposed to win a tournament that's this big? And then I did not. I scrubbed out terribly. You have to kind of take yourself out of the giganticness of it and just be like, every game is its own game. Yeah. And that's it. We're just playing Magic, even when you're like, oh, I have to win 2 games. I have 2 winning ends. It's like, that's just 2 games of Magic, You can always do that. So
I think the other thing is just kind of exposure therapy too. I remember when 32 felt like a really big tournament, and I remember when 64 felt like a really big tournament. And then you go to some of the bigger ones, you're like, okay, I feel comfortable now, and just kind of getting used to it. But yeah, exactly what Zach's saying, game by game, see what happens.
I've played in 1,400 player fighting game tournaments. Wow. So 300 players is still pretty big, especially for Magic, but it doesn't intimidate me in the way it used to. Yeah.
we'll get into this more in like a logistic podcast, but like I think having your own setup, like having your setup and your playmat and the thing exactly how it is, so that way you can kind of always transport a little bit of your LGS with you, is like a really grounding experience. We'll get more into that later, but yeah. At Zach Judd 3.
Always nice.
Commenting on my own video.
Always nice to meet a fan.
Engagement, baby.
Could you? Oh, this is a good one. All right. Here we go. This one's this one's gonna get some response. Could you all please explain more about politics in Mardu and maybe go through some of the win lines so we can work on properly fucking them up? So the win lines we went through before, but like, yeah, politics in Mardu.
The best political tool you have is your ability to put a win on the stack. I'm serious.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, this is like basic CDH fundamentals, but if player C is going to win or is going to get their Ristic Study fed, and you put a win on the stack and player B can stop you, and they're the only one that can stop you, you say, cool, draw.
Good draw.
Good draw. And like, that's like your best political.
Yeah.
That said, you know, Mardu has silences. We have interaction. We have board interaction with like Yawgmoth and stuff. And I've gotten real political with Hope Agirapur and been like, I'm going to silence you for a whole turn cycle unless you show me your hand.
Yep. They show you and you still silence them.
Yeah, but I think I shouldn't have, but yeah. Sometimes you do. I think that about sums it up. Anything else you want to talk about with politics in Mardu?
I'm shocked. You have nothing to say about this, my guy.
No, like, I mean, in all honesty, the main thing that I think about when I'm politicking in Mardu is just, okay, we talked about fishing for information.
I'm sorry, guys.
Let me cook.
We talked about fishing for information in Mardu, right? So if somebody else is trying to win, regardless of whether or not I have a response to it, I'll say, you know, you have nothing for this. And then you'll start hearing the conversation, oh, I have something. Now you understand what they have. So now you know that if you get to untap, you know what you need to play around. So that's the first thing. So it's mainly about fishing for information. If you're not getting information from people, like they just don't want to tell you anything, then either A, they're going to lose to you or somebody else. There are instances where you can help. You always want to have a mindset of, I want to be helpful first. And it's kind of like when you're in an airplane, you want to put the oxygen mask over yourself before other people. Like you want to extract information that's helpful for you first before it's for the table. Like it's one of those things that is just like you play Mardu because you don't want to have to care about everybody else. You know what I mean? Like it's like focusing on yourself. You know, you're in your self-care era.
Mardu is self-care. Live, laugh, love.
You're in your self-care era. Like
Mardu.
You don't play blue. You don't play blue, but you still have agency in the game. Just because like you have these silence effects, you have proactive ways to deal with things, and you know you do the best you can, get as much information as possible, and then you know you try to force a draw if.
The thing you can do, I think, that's important with politics in Mardu is sometimes you need to just say, nope, I'm not giving you any information. Yeah. That's very important sometimes, is to just be a Mardu, you know, evil Mardu player, and just be like
A Mardude.
Yeah, I'm just casting a spell, and you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not sharing information with you. So
I think that's the best way to politic against really good politicers is just to not listen
engage
to them.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyways. Yeah. And also like sometimes you just have to say like, you know, they might have like a silence, which is really hard to answer in Mardu.
Yeah.
But that silence is going to be around the next turn too.
Yeah, so like what are you going to do? Wait and get silence next turn?
Yeah.
Time walk yourself? No, you just got to eat it at some point. So.
I'd also say it is more difficult to politic in Mardu than it is in a blue deck.
Yes.
Because you're not the good guy. People don't trust you. They're saying like there's nothing you could do that's going to help us, which is really not true.
Yeah.
Like you've both talked about how you're on board much more, and so it's easy for a blue farmer or a Rog Thras to be like,
Oh, scary.
And when they have 8 cards in hand and are drawing more.
Yeah.
I also think one thing I think is important is people don't understand how your deck wins sometimes, and it's very important to be like, okay, having Bergie in play does not make infinite mana. When I cast Dargo, I need, or like having Altar of Dimension in play does not win the game. When I cast Dargo, I need another piece because people like a lot of people. The deck is complicated and people don't know how the lines work. So sometimes you need to explain to them, this is half of a combo. you can counter the other half when it comes out, or remove a piece when it comes out, and like, yeah. So anyway,
What you were saying in the car about this is really funny too. Where you're like, no, I can't win. How do I win? Explain to me how I win, and you'll find exactly what people are afraid of, and that's free information, right? And they tell you what you're afraid.
The important part is not to make people feel dumb about it, right? Like that's the hardest part. But it's like it's just a question of like trying to be as transparent as possible, especially when the deck is very opaque. Another thing that I like to say a lot is, "Hey, Blue Farm, how many cards in your hand?
yeah.
Hey, wait, can I get a cards in hand check real quick?" And just like
You have to point back at the
exactly,
at the blue
right?
farm player who's pointing at you. You have to. You have to.
the other thing that I like to do occasionally is feel free to ask for insane shit sometimes. People will let you have some stuff and it almost doesn't, it sounds insane in the moment, but like people let like Adnaz resolve to like find interaction. You're like, what's the difference between that and like me making infinite mana and being able to draw 7 cards? Like, think about it for half a second. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, people will ask to.
well, see.
Next question.
Next question. At Holy Hyena, congrats Sylvie. I've been absolutely loving learning and playing this deck for the last 2 months. First small tournament went 0-4. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, been there.
We all been there. Questions. 1. Sticky Fingers seemed like a standout in your list compared to others. Is this new tech and how did it play?
Okay, let me give you the math on Sticky Fingers. First of all, this card is not a meta breaker. This is not like this card's not.
Every deck is about to be
No,
on this card.
The card's not that good. First of all, okay. So if you're like looking at it and you're like, I don't get it. It's not that good. But if you look at the math behind it, it actually makes sense. Let's assume I'm on 9 1-drops. Let's assume we play a turn 1 1-drop. Then turn 2, we play a land. We play Sticky Fingers. We attack with our 1-drop and we make a treasure. Great. Turn 3, we untap. We attack with our 1-drop again. It has menace, so we're getting in. We make another treasure, right? We now have made 3 things to sacrifice to Dargo. We've got our 1-drop and 2 treasures from 2 cards alone, right?
And a card draw.
And when we sack it, we get a card draw as well. So it is like not like a powerhouse of a card, but it's flexible. Sticky Fingers replaced a talisman for me, or a Felwar Stone, because it synergizes better with the Tymna plan. It synergizes better with the 1-drops, and it synergizes better with Dargo. These are all the reasons like why Sticky. Do you need to run it in your deck? No, you definitely do not. Do I think it's worth running in my deck? Yes, I think the card is good enough. It's a bad draw later in the game, but you know what? So is a talisman.
It's not that bad.
It's not. It's mana neutral,
Yeah.
and it's card neutral, right?
Well,
So-
it's mana neutral for the turn, but then it's mana positive.
exactly in
going
future turns,
forward.
and it's card neutral if you get the card off of it eventually.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
In the Dargo Discord, I don't think it's pinned, so you might have to do some scrolling, but I did an in-depth calculation of land count. Yeah, really. Yeah, dude. I kind of land for it. What? I kind of land for it because it's Springleaf Drum with upside, and I wanted a reason to run Springleaf Drum, but I didn't like the fact that it nomboed with Tymna. So it synergizes with the Tymna plan, makes you treasures you can bank across turns, and if I ever cut it, I'd probably be on 24 lands.
Yeah, like later in the game, it's going to go mana neutral and maybe net you. It's going to go mana neutral, going to go card neutral, and maybe net you an extra Tymna draw. So it actually goes card positive.
Yeah.
And if you get an extra turn, then you're going double card positive, double
Menace.
positive.
Menace.
The
is
Menace
huge.
came
up
Late- late
in
in
one
the
of my
game.
games
It
today.
comes
Yeah,
up.
it's
It
really
comes
good.
up. Yeah. So it's like it turns a creature into a face breaker, basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And if you put it on like a Ragavan, it's amazing, right?
Fucking
So,
insane.
So
I actually do like it. Just turns a creature into half, kind of like more of half a face.
yeah, you don't get the sacrifice of treasure part.
One also doesn't give all your creatures that ability.
That is also very true.
But still,
yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a third
yeah.
of a face breaker for a third of the mana.
Exactly.
Shout out to Creature Guy.
Yeah, and it gives evasion. Yeah, it's just a good card. Yeah, shout out to Creature Guy.
Creature Guy is the one that Creature Guy is what introduced the card to the Discord, and we figured it out. Yeah. He goes by Sticky Fingers.
Yeah,
Guy
shout
now.
out to Sticky Finger Stan.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers Stan.
Creature Guy.
Yeah.
Florida man. He's your Florida man.
There's also anyway, we don't have to go through the rogues gallery of the Dargo. Let's keep going.
The Rogues Gallery.
Part. If you would like to meet the Rogues Gallery, you can go to the Dargo Discord.
Good Discord.
Number 2, the part 2 of the question. Would love to hear your thoughts on your list versus Pontus' Super Turbo list. Would that be a list you run, like including wheels? ? Why/why not?
So I think my list is a little more optimized towards Dargo combos than Pontus's list, while Pontus's list is a little more optimized towards general Mardu
And
Storm
Turbo.
and Breach combos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think leaning into Dargo combos is strong for me personally because I think Dargo combos are more resilient to interaction because they're creature based. So they're harder to interact with. Wheel is a really strong card. It's very powerful. I tested it in the deck before Fishbowl. The main reason I'm not on it is because I expected to play against Ral and Atali. I really don't want to wheel Ral and Atali because they're going to wheel me. So I just figured I'd get wheeled by them enough that I didn't need to run it myself. And for my playstyle, I just don't think wheel works. Yeah, I've played with it a bunch, and I don't think I am a wheel player, at least in this deck. Yeah,
That's tough. I feel like wheel and farm is so different.
Yeah.
Obviously, but just resolving a wheel on a tithe is just a high.
It's
that
amazing.
You just don't get outside of most decks.
Yeah, I don't think wheel's a crazy card to play. I think it's reasonable. It's mostly a meta call for me. It's mostly a meta call for me. It's like in those games with one blue player and two other turbo decks. If I wheel and the blue player hits interaction and I get stopped first, I'm just losing.
And you're developing the mana into the wheel.
Exactly.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, I think Pontus's list is reasonable, but yeah, I just like the creature combos. So
Okay, so that's all the time, unfortunately, we had today. I know there's a bunch of questions. We didn't get to all of them, but those were the questions. I still don't know how we're selecting the winner here, but do you want to pick a favorite question?
I give it to the Francisco.
Amazing.
I run its BC. I take you seriously. I take Francisco Akiri seriously. But if you ever get tired of running Francisco Akiri with Lur's Companion, Dargo Tymna will be there for you. Enjoy.
And Japanese foil etched
Enjoy.
from Doot Loot. Thank you, Doot Loot.
Enjoy.
Heck yeah.
And good luck.
And good luck.
Best of luck.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Sylvie, for doing this.
It was a blast. And thank you, everyone, for the questions and congratulations.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks again for all your awesome questions. And big congrats to Run It's BC for winning this month's Doot Loot giveaway. We couldn't get to every single question this time, but we read them all and really appreciate the thought and creativity you put into them. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment down below and let us know. We had a ton of fun recording in person, and we'll make time to do more of this style of episode if you want to see it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.